Hello everyone, this is Lock and I. Welcome back to another video on the Gray Build YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be showcasing the new Skyscraper for the LEGO City that I've finished. And this is going to be one of the shorter end ones that I have. It's not going to be as tall as some of the others, but I wanted to showcase this one because it's very important for the store it has, and it has some office buildings on the top floors, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the bottom floor here. So you can see it's already on the standard type of definition I'm using for all the buildings, which is similar to Mills plating, but there's 4 plates on top of a base plate, and then the plate on top of that to build the building on. It's slightly different from a normal Mills plate, but this is how I do the buildings for my city. And this is going to be the grocery store for the city. And it looks a little small, but in universe for stop animation sequences and such, the actual buildings themselves will be much larger on the inside than they appear on the outside, so this just has to get the idea across. First off, you can see here that we have a bunch of different food inside that we'll take a look at closer in a minute. And there are these cool stickers on the outside of the windows here. And those stickers are actually from a set from the Dollar Tree brand, Make It Bricks, which is like a little mini grocery store build. If you see any of those stickers are pretty cool to use. And I have 3 of them throughout the build. You'll see the last one later. So this is what it looks like. There's just a double doorway, and above the double door there is some lights. The color combination I went for is all based on the 1x6 printed brick with the number 2 on front. It doesn't make much sense in the Ninjago universe where the number 2 really isn't used all that much and there would be a different symbol there for it, but I thought it was a funny idea to use this and make it kind of a knockoff 7-Eleven. When you look at the color scheme, it works like that pretty well. And there's one of the logo pieces for the grocery store on top of the door there. Now, before we get to the next floor, I wanted to actually take all these floors apart because you can actually remove each of these floors. I built them in a modular fashion, so you can easily add more, take apart some, leave some off the building, and for purposes of this video, make it very easy to obtain an inside look of what's inside the buildings. So, here's the inside of the supermarket that I've built and detailed in. There's a whole bunch of different fruits, there's a whole section for milk, there's a whole section for soda. In front you can see that we have all these different varieties of bread, there's pretzels, there's croissants, there's hot dogs, a whole bunch of other things to go and buy at the grocery store, and there's also room for a figure behind the checkout counter. And I didn't put anyone behind there yet, but when I get closer to finish populating up my city, I will have a figure sitting to manage the store. Now let's go and take a look at the next floor. Now, the exterior for the next 3 floors of the building, including this second story here, is all built the same, just a bunch of white bricks interlocking with each other slightly differently to create the illusion of it being made of bricks. And I like the idea of just using these windows because I have a lot of them in my collection, and this is a good use for them. Now, on the inside, you'll see that this is an office building on top, and I don't know exactly what I was going for with an office building design here, but I'm pretty happy with it. And this uses 2 builds based off of the BlockTech brand of bricks. You can find them at 5 Below. And they made these little, like, retro-styled kits, including these, which are retro computer desks, which is pretty fun. The computers have a little sticker for the print, and I also built a water cooler to go in the middle of them. I'm pretty happy with how this looks, but of course, it's not an office building with just 2 desks, so let's move on to the next story. So, moving on to the 3rd story of the building, you can see the exterior is the same, although I like the way the brick pattern worked out like this. Just by using 2x2 bricks, you can make the creases in between each of the bricks look like the outline of the bricks for the building, and I think this looks really cool. Additionally, there's a single desk in here with some space to the side if maybe the business is looking to hire more people to go and make more desks for that area. But I added another one of those cool computer desks there. And if you're wondering, those were like $1 each, so not a lot of cost to get those cool little computer desks. Now, let's move on to the second to last story we're going to look at today. Now we're moving up to the 4th story of the building overall. And here we just have a regular, like, board meeting room for the office building. And I think this was a fun inclusion. You can't just have an office building without a meeting room for everybody. And I kind of loosely based the entire idea off of this from, like, what a real-world office building might look like. But it is mainly just empty right now because I haven't added all of the people in. And that will get added, when, as mentioned earlier, when we add the rest of the people to the city. But there is one more thing for us to take a look at, and that's the rooftop. So let's go take a look at that. So we're going to be removing the roof from the rest of the building because it would otherwise be too tall to view inside of this little recording setup here. And of course, I have just a few details going on here, mostly using white bricks and different techniques of using white parts. Just to add the illusion of texture without changing the colors or any of the types of coloring of the building up together here. And there's fences on here as well because, of course, you don't want people falling off the buildings because that would be bad. Now, we also have this interesting billboard-like sign for the grocery store to let everyone know the grocery store is here, and this can be posted around wherever you want it to. Additionally, we have a little AC unit, and the AC unit is basically just going to provide a small detail on the roof to make it look like everyone in the buildings that's working in the floors down below will get to stay cool. And of course, just like every electrical aspect of the city, it'll be powered thanks to the elemental lightning dragon that lives on the mountain. Now, I've also taken my hand at creating a recreation of a Ninjago minifigure from the Ninjago TV show. This is Lee from the land of Lee. Now, why is he here in Ninjago? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe he had some traveler's tea or something or ended up here. All I know is that one of his copies ended up here and decided to take over the whole office building segment to create a building where its primary purpose is to make sure no one is ever lonely again, which is kind of neat. Now that we have everything reviewed for this building, let's go and take a look at it inside the Lego City. So, now that we have this placed inside the city, you can see that I've moved the sign around so that it faces the correct front-facing way, and it fills in the gap that's right behind the train station there, leaving a little bit of space for an extra sort of building to go inside the corner there. And, of course, the back is blank because I have plans to utilize this with some free billboard ideas that I have coming up soon. And, of course, when those are designed, I need a place to put them, and that looks like prime real estate for some billboards. So, no windows needed there, but you can see the brick detailing texture that I've added in a little bit better this way. Now, I have plenty of other projects coming soon for the city, as well as some more projects that I just have in general that I've been working on, including going back and redoing some of my older builds to make them a little bit more fitting for my stop animation ideas. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you all have a great day.